Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Sarah and today I'm doing a fairly large autumn book haul. So these are all the books I've accumulated over the last few months. I've had a birthday as well, so if you're thinking it's a bit big, actually who cares if you think it's big or not? It's my problem. But I had a birthday, so I was well gifted and then used some gift money to buy books. I don't really know what else to buy, to be honest, anymore with gift money. Sweets, but they don't cost that much. So anyway, yes, so I will try and split it up into sections, so if you prefer to hear about one type of book you can find it there. So yes, we've got a mixture of non-fiction, some classics, quite a lot of fantasy, like way more fantasy than normal. I normally read my fantasy on Kindle because I tend to buy like the first in a series to try, but some of the books were just like really pretty and I thought it'd be nice to have copies on my shelves, as long as I like them, and then maybe I'll regret all my decisions. But yeah, so shall we start with the fantasy and sort of horror, I think. Yes, now let's go this one first. So this is Our Haunted Shores, Tales from the Coasts of the British Isles, edited by Emily Alder, Jimmy Packham and Joan Passy. And this is one of these British Library Tales of the Weird, and this one's set all around coastal areas. Now if you have watched any of my other videos, you know that I do have some of these, and I actually read some of them in October, and so I was very pleased to have another copy. I really like these. I like how they're sort of done in chronological order, and so you can see how story writing has changed. This one's got some sonnets in as well, which is quite interesting. So we have Arthur Machen, E.F. Benson, Christina Rossetti, Frances Hodgson Burnett, Charlotte Riddell, who I read last month, so that's nice. So yeah, I got this for my birthday from my lovely friend Amy, and so yeah, I'm looking forward to reading that. As someone who was raised in a seaside town and now lives in a different seaside town, I love the beach. I maybe don't want to be haunted on the beach or anywhere. Just to put it out there, any spooks, I don't want to be haunted anywhere, okay? So that's number one. Number two is a book that she gave me, the same friend who read it and gave it to me because she knew I wanted to read it, and that's Play Nice by Rachel Harrison. I know the sticker looks bad, but the other sticker that was on there nearly broke my spirit trying to get it off, and so I've decided to choose peace. So I'm very sorry if that annoys you, but I'm not taking it off. I'm not wasting precious moments of my life taking it off. So yeah, so the main character Cleo is a stylist and influencer, and has gone back to her family home, which was allegedly possessed. It says after her parents' divorce, her mother moved into a house occupied by a demon, also her mother claimed. And then a book is wrote about the house, and I guess she's going back to find out really what actually happened. So as we know, I love a haunted house book, so I was very pleased when she gave it to me, because I did want it. Next, let's carry on with spooky. Now I got these on my birthday. I went to town on my birthday, literally went to town and bought quite a few books in Waterstones. So these, I love these editions, and these are the Penguin Horror. So first up we have Benighted by J.B. Priestley. One, I thought the cover just drew me in, but then when I heard it is about a group of friends whose car breaks down in Wales on a rainy night and they go to a house to ask for some help. These people are very reluctant to help them, and then as the night unfolds, some weird stuff seems to be connected with the family. Now, if that sounds kind of familiar, allegedly, this inspired part of Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Nice.
Which I didn't mean to do that when I wore this t-shirt. It's just I put it on because I like to wear it. So I'm super interested. I was interested in it already, but then when I was reading about it online, and if you've seen Rocky Horror Show, that's how the film starts. Brad and Janet's car breaks down. They find this creepy place to help, and Riff Raff opens the doors. It's yes.
Hello.
Anyway, so I really look forward to that. It's not very long. Jamie Priestley, I read in Inspector Calls when I was doing my GCSEs and I liked it, so I'm really excited for this. The next one with another beautiful cover is The Witch and the Priest by Hilda Lewis. And this is a witch one. A man is being haunted. It says a priest is plagued by doubts about a witch and her daughter's execution. And from the grave, he finds out the truth. And it's meant to be very spooky and creepy. And it's a psychological. And is sort of all the things I quite like. So that's that one. And the last one in these little collection is Moths by Rosalind Ash. Again, who designs these? Are these all by the same design? Choo, it says. C-H-O-O. Choo. And this one, again, is another house one. It says that people go to an estate called Dower House and they are obsessed with this sort of mysterious host. Yeah, and there's an uninvited guest that corrupts their paradise. Again, all these sorts of things tick my boxes. And they're beautiful, and I'm really excited to read them. I like reading sort of lesser known, forgotten classics because it's just interesting to see, isn't it? Like what survives and what doesn't. And so yeah, those ones, very exciting. What next shall we go for? One I bought myself again on my Waterstones trip, which is Emperor of the Eight Islands by Leanne Hearn. When I was a teenager, I read the, oh my gosh, Across the Nightingale Floor series. My friend owned them and she would lend them to me, and I just remember us both being really enthralled by it. And I was only wondering about Leanne Hearn a few weeks ago, wondering, oh, I should look into her, see what she's doing nowadays. And then when I went to Waterstones, I saw this. What sold me was these lines. And so I'm going to tell you what the lines were and why it intrigued me. It says, an ambitious warrior leaves his nephew for dead and seizes his lands. A stubborn father forces his younger son to surrender his wife to his older brother. A mysterious woman seeks 5 fathers for her children. A powerful priest meddles in the succession to the Lotus throne. Oh, yes. So yes, Emperor of the Eight Islands, the first in the tale of Shikanoko. I'm really sorry if I pronounced that wrong. I should have checked first. So yeah, I'm really interested. Also, because this is medieval Japanese inspired fantasy, and I really like medieval fantasy, and I wanted to read from other places as well, like in terms of fantasy and just in general. I'm quite interested recently in learning more about Asian history. So I really look forward to this. I read the first couple of chapters recently when deciding what I wanted to read, and I was definitely interested. Oh, The Tales of the Atori. That's the name of the series. So yeah, I think it's a completed series, and I have never heard anything about it. Like I said, never heard of it, never seen it, but I thought the cover, which yeah, is really cool. So there's that one. So next up is one I got a couple of months ago, obviously, and this is The Great Wen by Alan Moore with these cool black sprayed edges. I don't really care about sprayed edges, just showing you them. And yes, now this one I had sort of had on my radar for a little while, and I thought it sounded interesting. It's an alternate London. I'm sold. 1949, second-hand bookseller Dennis stumbles through a city still shaking off the war, and then he finds a book that shouldn't exist, an entirely fictional book from inside another novel. And like I say, I was sold. That sounds fantastic. I know that sort of alternate London fantasy sort of thing is quite popular, and I eat it up. I like it a lot. I like alternate history in books, and this one I really like reading about the time period. I know a lot of people are a bit put off by all the war stuff. This is post-war, obviously, being in 1949, but I just find it all fascinating. So I'm really excited. Obviously, Alan Moore is a big name in the fantasy world, and yeah, again, a long London novel. It says it's called. I think this is still only the first one in the series, but I do not know. Oh, it's got to take my receipt out of there. Look at that. That's very pleasing. So I've got that one. Next is one I'm taking a risk on because it is YA, and I'm not a YA person, but people told me it's good, and that's A Language of Dragons by S.F. Williamson. Again, this is set in the 1920s, so between wars, and this is, I think, involves Bletchley Park. Yeah. And yeah, uncovering the secrets of a hidden dragon language, and that's really all I need to know. I love dragon books. It's the area in fantasy that I know I'm into. Like I said, I'm still relatively new into fantasy, but I'm just keen to find out what ticks for me. And this one kept just sounding so good. I just wished it was adult. But I'm willing to give it a go because it does sound really cool. The sort of interspersal of real life events with dragons, which is something I'm enjoying as I'm reading the Temeraire series by Naomi Novik. And even like the Lady Trent series, while that is more of a fantastical world, is definitely set in a Victorian inspired society. I like that a lot. Oh, and the Miss Percy series by Quenby Olson, who again is set in I think it's Regency, so real world, insert dragons. I like that, apparently. I think that's just because I want to have a dragon, but like a little one is not going to burn my house down, or other people's, because I can't afford to rebuild other people's houses. But yeah, so that one. This one, which I have heard lots of good things, and that's Daughter of the Forest by Juliet Marillier, and this is what a Celtic-inspired Irish fantasy. The Seven Waters series. I've heard that if you like Robin Hobb, this is sort of where to go. That she's got very lovely writing, rich characters and world, you know, and I think that I like those more real settings, as I've just mentioned in all those dragon books that I'm enjoying. I just, because I'm so interested in like medieval history, I think I like seeing stuff I've learned in non-fiction and then inserted as sort of more fantastical elements. So yes, I'm looking forward to this. It's a nice little diddy copy, but the font's not too small. So yes, book one of the Seven Waters trilogy. Okay, next one I've read, that's The Bone Season by Samantha Shannon. This is an alternate future, London and Oxford. What is it, 2059? I read it and I loved it. I read the Pale Dreamer short story first, and also the is it On the Merits of Unnaturalness, which is a little pamphlet. If you read the book, you'll know all that's about. So this is like a world where the magic system is essentially clairvoyancy, and Paige Mahoney is our main character, who has quite special skills, and she belongs to this group who are quite high up in the underground of all the clairvoyancy. But clairvoyancy is not really allowed. In fact, it is banned by this sort of governmental institution called Scion. And one day she is arrested for murder and ends up in another place, and she has to fight for her survival. I can't leave it there. I've read this one, and I've read the second one, The Mime Order, on my Kindle, and I'm loving the series. My only problem, and this is not the book's fault, it's that I'm a bit scared of enjoying series that are not finished, because I know that the fifth one only came out this year, and yeah, so I'm a bit scared. So I've got the next couple. I will be continuing the series because I'm really enjoying it. I love the magic system. I thought the characters are really cool. I just find clairvoyant stuff really interesting as a concept. So yeah, I enjoyed that. And because I enjoyed that, I'll mention something that was a bit naughty. But when I was on Vinted, someone was selling The Roots of Chaos all in one bundle. Like, these are all one listing for less price than that is new currently, the newest one. So in terms of the publication order, we've got The Priory of the Orange Tree, A Day of Fallen Night, and then Among the Burning Flowers. Now I know that you can read them in a different order depending on what your preference is, but my friends tell me to start with where it all began. The Priory of the Orange Tree, Big Old Beast But Dragons. Samantha Shannon, I know I enjoy. Dragons, I know I enjoy. So this was naughty. I should have tried it before buying all of them. But when someone is selling all three in one listing, and it's cheaper than the RRP for this, and this has just come out like a month and a half ago, I can just, and this one's got really pretty illustrations inside. I mean, not just the map, but isn't that pretty? It's so pretty. So I hope I don't regret everything, but if not, I'll just sell them on. They're very nice. They're massive though, aren't they? But that's okay. I don't mind big books, thankfully. Yes. Heavy. And the next ones are just, actually that doesn't count. These are just a continuous series I'm finishing off, and which is the Lady Trent series. So I'm not going to tell you. I mean, I've already mentioned them. Lady Trent memoir series, great time. So this is book 5 within the Sanctuary of Wings, and then this is the like companion novel that's wrote by a relative. Apparently I haven't read these two. These are the last two I've got, and that's Turning Darkness into Light. So look forward to these. I don't think this cover is quite as appealing as this. I don't know, the design's slightly different. All the others have this sort of, the image goes all the way around, but this one doesn't. But anyway, I'm trying not to look at what it says. But yes, those are just continuing series, so I'm not going to go into it too much. We're getting there. I'm making a mess, but what's new? So we have a couple of crime series. This is actually by the same author. So we have The Little Sparrow Murders by Seishi Yokomizo and Murder at the Black Cat Cafe. This one is translated by Brian Karantnik. And this one is translated, because they're not all translated by the same people. Oh, okay. This is actually translated by the same person. The other ones aren't all translated by the same people. This is part of the same series. These covers, to me, are just way more interesting than this. This one tells me a bit about, like, what I'm expecting. This one gives cozy. And I've read a couple of, I mean, the reason I have this one is because I enjoyed the series with Kozuki Kindaichi. It's a detective's name, and I'm enjoying them. But they are quite brutal. They're not light. They're not Agatha Christie levels of violence. They are much more than that. So this gives very, like, cozy. And someone's going to buy this and go, oh, that's really cute. Ah! I assume. I don't know. I haven't read it yet. But yeah, this, I got this one with the Great Wen because they would buy one, get one half price. And I know I was going to get it eventually. So yes, so the first one is the Honjin Murders, but these have just been translated at, like, I don't think they're being translated in any kind of order. I'm wondering if they're translating them in terms of what was really popular in Japan, because this is obviously a very, very long crime series. I mean, how much? 77 books. So yeah, and this one originally was in 1926. Really? That's an early one. Nope, this is can't read. That said 1996. No, this one came out in 1971. I can read, as you can tell by all these books. And this one was originally 1973. So pretty close. So yes, I'm looking forward to it. But I hope they go back to these designs, because I think these are just really pleasing. But, yes, I'm not going to tell you what about their crimes. If you're into crime, you're into crime. If you're not, you're not. And then this one I got yesterday in the charity shops, just because I've tried to try more classic crime authors. And this is Miss Pym Disposes by Josephine Tay. Josephine Tay is quite famous for her Daughter of Time, about the detective who is, he either tries to or he does solve the Richard III Princes in the Tower dilemma, which I'm quite intrigued to read. So yeah, this one, Miss Pym is invited to lecture at a college and some bad stuff happens. That's all I need to know. That's all I need to know. So I mostly only read classic crime, 1946. I don't like modern crime really. I'll read a Janice Hallett, that sort of stuff. But I don't like thrillers. They give me pure anxiety, and so much of it is just like violence against women. I know there's violence against women in all books, but I just think, why perpetuate it? But anyway, but I do really enjoy classic crime, which probably makes me a hypocrite, but what can you do? Yes, and then we have this one I got in a charity shop recently, which I kind of showed in a vlog, but I didn't show, words are hard. I did actually talk about it, but this is Up at the Villa by W. Somerset Maugham. Really tiny, like he either went big or tiny. I really like W. Somerset Maugham's writing. I have read The Moon and the Sixpence, Razor's Edge, and Of Human Bondage. Of Human Bondage is perfect novel. It was my favourite book of the year 2 years ago, and the writing is just phenomenal. I just had a great time with it. My first one by him was The Moon and Sixpence, which was incredibly misogynistic. Loosely based on Paul Gauguin's life. So it's about a man who... That isn't even the book that I've bought. Why am I telling you this? The point is, I loved his writing enough to go, right, okay, we can put some of the misogyny away. Because I'm not expecting you to be a full-on teen woman. Because this is the 20s, whatever. But I like your writing. And then the next one was actually... The next ones I've read have been way better in terms of how he writes about women. But yes, so now he's my... I want to read everything he wrote. And so this is a really little tiny one. Mary walls up her desires in a beautiful villa in the hills above Florence as she calmly contemplates a disastrous marriage. W. Somerset Maugham writing about marriages that don't work? What? So yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. One thing I would say is that in his books he likes to use the word sensuous a lot. It's to the point that it's like noticeable. It's like if I see it, I'm excited because I'm like, oh, he's done it, he did it again, he wrote the word sensuous. But yes, really looking forward to reading this one. Of Human Bondage is like 800 pages, so you can see my delight that this one's slightly smaller. But actually, if I like someone's writing, I'm more than happy for it to be humongous. This was a birthday gift. This is Cat Stories. This is one really cute little Everyman's Pocket Classics. I have 2 cats, so people like to buy me cat stuff, which I'm fine with, to be honest. So who have we got in here? We have Doris Lessing, Rudyard Kipling. Who else? I'm trying to name people. Oh, Ursula K. Le Guin. She's got a story in here called Schrodinger's Cat. That's interesting. Angela Carter, Patricia Highsmith, Edgar Allan Poe. Yes, so it's like split into section in people and their cats, cats and their people, and fanciful felines. So this will be a really sweet little short story collection to dig in to. And yeah, lovely cat. I've got black and white cats. You've seen Minnie if you've watched, was it my TBR? Minnie, and my other cat's called Delilah. Delilah is named after a song, but it's not Delilah by Tom Jones, and it's not Hey There Delilah by Plain White Tees. It's actually the song Delilah by Queen, after Freddie Mercury wrote a song about his favourite cat Delilah. So that's some knowledge about a cat that you can't see. Maybe I'll make Editing Fairy put a picture of my cats on screen. Editing Fairy, husband, please. Cats. So we're getting there, another birthday gift. The Long Shoe by Bob Mortimer. I love Bob Mortimer more than most things in life. I named my pet rats Vic and Bob after him and his amazing comedy partner. I rewatch his Would I Lie to You compilations. I mean, excessively, perhaps, like one might say. Taskmaster Series 5, one with him in, and Sally Phillips, and Aisling B, Nish Kumar, Mark Watson. It's a fantastic series. I don't need to name you all of the people, but like, it's just, I love him with my heart. And so I've been reading all his books. I've read his memoir and his 2 other ones, and this is his newest one that came out quite recently, The Long Shoe. He writes crime stories. I don't consider him in the same vein as the trend of celebrities writing crime stories, like your Rob Renders, your other people, all men really, or like the Strictly Come Dancing ones tend to be like murder on the dance floor. I consider him to be in a different world. Maybe that's because I'm biased, because I love him, so I don't consider him to be polluting the publishing world when other people could be getting deals. But because I think he, whilst he's taking it seriously, he also clearly isn't. Like, the names of, I mean, the back of the book has praise for the series by people he's made up. So there's Ray Lever, Doug Waffle, Crispin Whispers, and Chance Baxter's Dentist. He tells a story because he likes to tell a story, and they're silly and they're fun, and he puts himself into them. Like, there's definitely Bob in all of the main characters so far. Yes, I'm looking forward to that. If you can hear the rain, I'm really sorry. My library is in a separate building to my house, and it really loves to let in all noise. So I'm really sorry, but hopefully you find it incredibly atmospheric. This is a book I've read before, A Visit from the Goon Squad by Jennifer Egan. I love this. I gave it 5 stars when I read it several years ago, and then I stupidly got rid of it and then regretted it. And then because she's got a sort of sequel to it, Candy House, I wanted to reread it. Like, I didn't own it, and it was one of those stupid things. I did quite a lot, getting rid of books that I loved because I'd give them to someone else to read. It's really stupid. Like, tell them to go to the library. Don't be so kind. But yeah, I love this, like interconnected short stories. I'm really into that. I like that a lot. Everything I've read by Jennifer Egan I really like so far. I think she's a fantastic author. I mean, this won the Pulitzer Prize, so it's very, very, very highbrow. That's me twizzling my little moustache, like Poirot style. So yeah, I'm really excited to reread that then, so I can finally read Candy House. And then the rest are non-fictions, not too many left. As I was just talking about Poirot, that was really, you know, I didn't plan that. This is a charity shop find. This is Poirot and Me by David Suchet. If you like Poirot, you might want to read this. If you don't like Poirot, you're probably not going to read it. So I'm not really going to say anything else. I love Agatha Christie. I've got a whole Agatha Christie shrine that takes up several shelves because she wrote a lot of books. But yes, yeah, I wanted to read this, so I bought it. Yes, so the rest are non-fiction. There's only a couple, so we'll be good. I'll just mention 2 books I was gifted from the publishers. We have The Frighteners by Peter Laws, which was kindly gifted to me by Icon Books. So thank you very much, Icon Books. And what's interesting about this is about why we love monsters, ghosts, death and gore. And he's a minister, which is really interesting. And so I read the first chapter just to see if I was in the mood to read it at the time, because it came like the day before Halloween. But I think by then I was a bit spooked out. So on his 40th birthday he goes to Transylvania. I mean, that is pretty cool, isn't it, to go to Transylvania? And so this is all about why we love that and how like people treat him, especially as a minister, and how there's a sort of, if you like horror, that sometimes people assume that you condone violence in real life, and that's just it's not the case. It's like that age-old debate that video games causes violence. Well, let's not get into that. But the point is, this is why he thinks he loves it and how he separates fiction from fact. So yeah, now I don't actually like horror films. I will watch things like The Shining, but I'm a bit of a whip. I'm not going to be reading your body horror, your gore. I like the supernatural. I don't want like a serial killer style horror or anything like that. So we'll see. I think he really likes all of it. So we'll see. But it sounds really interesting, especially because he's a minister, which, yeah, I think, yeah, it says join the sinister minister, which is a really pleasing thing to say. So yeah, so I am looking forward to that. And then the next one I got is from Penguin, so thank you very much, Penguin, and that Political Girl, Life and Fate in Russia by Maria Alyokhina. I'm so sorry. Again, I need to check these. And it's written with Olga Borisova and translated by Emily Eccles. So Maria was in the Pussy Riot collaboration, and this is her memoir. It talks about Putin and Russia and sort of life under censorship. Yeah, she spent 2 years in a penal colony after performing the punk prayer Virgin Mary banished Putin. And yes, this talks about all her protests, opposition, and yeah, it's just sounds really fascinating. I'm really looking forward to reading that. I'm going to read that soon. I really like the pink and green together. It's really nice to look at. Yes, so I'm really looking forward to that. Thank you, Penguin. And then we have, this was a birthday gift from my lovely husband, as was the long shoe. Thank you, husband. Love you. This is Terry Deary's Revolting, a riotous history of rebellions and revolutions. Terry Deary is the reason I have a history degree. I read horrible histories as a kid. I collected the magazines. I didn't actually watch the TV series till I was in my 20s. And I watched it on repeat. I could rap you the Charles II song. I could, you know, do the dances and all the facial movements for the Dick Turpin. Anyway, the point is, I love horror histories. I love Terry Deary, thank you very much. And so this is his second recent foray into adult non-fiction. What was his first one called? History of Britain in 10 Enemies. I enjoyed that one. So that was about Britain's 10 enemies, as in countries. And yeah, this is a history of the rebellions and revolutions. I don't need to know any more than that. I love Terry Deary, and it's a, again, cool design. I think that he's really transferred from writing children's non-fiction to adults really well, and yeah, this is just going to be a fun, just lovely time. So yes, that's thrilling, thank you. And this is one I got in September. I don't know, I'm not telling. I've got it in the autumn. This is an autumn book haul. This is Chasing the Dark: Encounters with the Supernatural by Ben Machell. This is quite similar to a lot of the books I read in October that were non-fiction. Paranormal hunting. Looking at the institution for the Society for the Psychical Research. If I took a shot every time I've said that in the last month, I would be on the floor, passed out. So yeah, and that's about that. It says, compelling story of our relationship with the supernatural. Where do you go when science cannot explain your experiences? What do you do when reality begins to fray around you? So yeah, this is one of those books, and this just sounds really interesting. As you can tell if you've watched any of my videos, that's the sort of area that I'm interested in. And that's probably why I like Bone Season so much, because of the clairvoyance sort of stuff. So yes, I'll probably save this now till next October or later, a few months' time, because I've read a few things of a similar nature, but it's an area I'm still excited to continue learning about. And then the last one is a book that arrived yesterday, which I pre-ordered. Oh, it's so pretty. This is Legenda by Janina Ramirez. The real women behind the myths that shaped Europe. Yes, so each chapter compares a woman from the 18th and 19th century to a sort of early medieval. So e.g., and they're usually women who are lesser known for half of the duo. So Joan of Arc and Charlotte Corday, Isabella of Castile, and Augustina Raimunda Maria Saragossa. By comparing the two women over the time, we'll see how women have shaped Europe. Now, she wrote Femina, which was another fantastic work of non-fiction. So I'm very excited to pre-order this, and I'm very excited to read it. And there we go. There we go. That was a lot of talking. But this is several months. I mean, some of this is really late summer. And, yeah. Whoopsie. But, yeah. Is there any of these that you have read or you would like to read? Any of them that you hate? Happy to hear that. I don't mind if you hate a book. Yeah. I know some people don't like hearing things like that, but I don't really care. Tell me what you think. So yeah, that's a lot of books. There's no way I can do one of those things that proper YouTubers do, where they like, oh, look at me, I'm not hench. I don't have the muscles. But I'll just hold up, there you go, that's some of them. And then like triple that. So yes, let me know how you are. And also thank you, because I have over 100 subscribers now, and that's really nice of you all. And I love you all dearly, and I'll all leave you something in my will. I mean, it'll probably be one book, because I've got no money left. Anyway, so I will talk to you again soon. Have a lovely day. Bye.